Hi, I'm Ben Perry. I'm a senior at LaSalle High School, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about sports injuries and how they actually affect athletes physically and mentally rather than the just traditional jock way you can think of things, as in, like, okay, well, he's an athlete, this usually happens. They're big, dumb guys, and they don't really think through these kind of things. It just happens, and all they want to do is get back to their sport. And I know this may seem kind of a typical subject, but hopefully I add a little twist to it. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because last night was my senior night for football, and I went through the normal game. I had a good game, and around halftime of my game, I ended up tearing my ACL for the third time in my life. So I'm recovering today, and this is kind of in my head, so this is what I'm going to talk about. So, this right here is your anterior cruciate ligament, otherwise known as ACL. It goes to the middle of your knee, and tearing it physically is one of the most painful things you can ever do in your life. And this isn't just talking opinion, it's stated as the most painful sports injuries and one of the top 10 most painful things ever to happen in anyone's life. And more than the pain, though, what's worse is what happens to many athletes mentally. Um, I know for me, football is a big part of my life, not just because I like playing football, but because I have an extreme sense of camaraderie and family with my teammates, and being without them for a long period of time, uh, it's terrible. It's not something I ever really like going through, but luckily they're all still there for me. So one thing people usually don't realize is a type of depression or sadness or mental instability. And this is pretty typical, mostly because for a lot of athletes, it is one of the biggest parts of their life, and the thing that they have a sense of their personality has been rooted in this sport. And so I have gone through this multiple times, and it is terrible. It's physically draining. You feel tired all the time, but it's nice if you can be there and talk about it and help through it with people, even though a lot of them just seem like big jocks that just work out all the time. I promise you that 9 out of 10 people go through that type of thing. Next. All right, so being selfish is a huge component that you have to understand. Without being selfish, especially if your personality is type of a helping personality, you start becoming overwhelmed with everything that's happening because you're trying to help someone else's problems, you're trying to worry about your schoolwork, there's something going on the team that you're worried about, and then on top of that, you have to worry about what's happening in your life, how much pain you're in, how mentally unstable you're not doing. And so you guys kind of thought to think about yourself for a little bit. And this is hard for a lot of people, but it is one of the key ways to get through sports injuries is just really finding out who you are, what makes you happy, and just go on with that and just be the person you want to be, so that way when everything goes haywire and you can't resort to anything else, you know that, hey, you have a true sense of what's going on in your life and you're going to be able to figure it out. And so the last thing that I want to talk about, just kind of recap it all together, is mental strength. This is one of the things that people don't realize too much about getting a significant injury, especially a type of knee injury or back injury or something along those lines. You become extremely mentally strong than a lot of your peers will ever dream of being, because adversity shapes people. And when you literally have a soul part of your life ripped out away from you, a key part of your personality, it takes a toll on you. And a lot of people quit. You'll hear a lot of people getting addicted to the pain medication or just rooted in their depression, which is terrible. But if you can get through all of that and get back to a place that you're happy with being, then eventually you'll have so many life lessons learned. You'll be better because of it. You'll be able to feel that pain and know that, hey, I can get through this. And everything in life that gets thrown at you just becomes a little more easy. And that's my presentation, and thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from this, because I'm about to learn a lot of things in the next 12 months. So wish me luck.